Hello, Eternum. Gamer Dad, Edgy Buttermaker here with my Rapier, Spear, Samurai, PvP build and playstyle video guide. Let's dive right in with my gear and traits. I'm a casual player, so I don't have full 600 plus gear yet. The main thing I focused on were the stats and perks. I wear light armor with only melee weapons, so defensively I put everything into mitigating physical damage. This means armor rating that favors physical damage and using primarily onyx gems. I also have the resilient perk on all of my gear. Because of this, I'm vulnerable to magic, so I have to play cautious against mages. The weapon perks I'm using right now also favor defense and survivability. I have Leeching Flurry for its healing, which I combine with Life Stealing on my Rapier and the Leeching perk on my ring. Both give additional healing from damage, plus on my earring I have the Regenerating perk and Refreshing Toast to lower the cooldowns of my health potions. All of that incoming healing is increased with the Divine perk on my amulet. In addition to siphoning health, I have Fortifying Perforate, which grants stacks of Fortify, almost 30% if all 3 hits connect. Offensively, I use Sundering Riposte to add rend on my target, Refreshing Flesh for cooldown reduction, as well as Keen Awareness on my ring and Keen on my Rapier for added crit chance. On my spear, I use Keenly Jagged and pair it with Skewer for really strong bleed pressure. I have 300 dexterity for guaranteed crits after I dodge, and this build crits a lot. Therefore, I go 100 intelligence for the added 10% crit damage and boosting my rapier damage instead of strength, which would increase my spear damage. Then I make sure to get 50 con to increase my healing potions. Here is how I currently have my rapier set up. I use riposte defensively. I also love evade, and I used to use it frequently, but I feel like I can dodge enough in light armor that I don't need it, so I put everything else into offense. Flurry provides really good damage along with really good healing. Flesh is a must. I prefer to use it offensively for damage or as a gap closer, but it can also be used to get away when you need to escape. For Spear, I go almost full Impaler with Skewer, Perforate, and Volt Kick. Skewer provides one of the strongest bleeds in the game and keeps up pressure even when I'm not hitting or they are trying to escape. Several enemies have fallen to its bleed. Perforate is a must in this build. Not only does it do good damage, but each hit adds 10% Ren. If you connect with all 3, that's 30%. Everything you do after that, as well as anything allies do to your target, is 30% stronger. This helps me secure quicker kills, weaken healers, and make heavy armor wearers vulnerable to my damage. Most of the passives for both weapons focus purely on damage and cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction is important with this build. I fight primarily using just the abilities and only use light or heavy attacks on rare occasion. The nice thing about this build is it uses a lot of abilities that have very short cooldowns. My fighting style with this build is a lot like boxing. Stick and move, hit with an ability, dodge out, hit with another ability, dodge back out. This makes it really hard for other melee to hit you. You do not want to try to face roll wearing light armor using these weapons. Stick and move, constantly be moving. In PvP, there is no such thing as a rotation. You have to react to whatever is going on, but that said, here is what I like to try to do. If I am attacking someone who isn't running away from me, I go in with Spear and land Skewer first. You can get a guaranteed crit from behind or in front if you dodge into it. The crit will add the keenly jagged bleed on top of Skewer's bleed. Then dodge out. Dodges consume 20% less stamina for 2 seconds after a spear hit and are already reduced from dexterity, which means you can dodge often and should. After Skewer and dodging out, I like to use Vault Kick for the stun and 30% cooldown reduction on Skewer. It's important to land Perforate as much as possible, so I follow up Vault Kick stuns with Perforate for the damage and the rend. The rend is a big deal, and if they are above 50% health, and likely are at this point, it's 30% more damage to all of your attacks if all 3 hit. Then I dodge out for all those perks that come with dodge, not to mention being hard to hit, and switch to Rapier with a riposte. Here you could dodge into a heavy backstab if you are full on health. Otherwise, I typically use Flurry while they are stunned to get the most damage and healing on myself as possible. Then dodge out again and cut through them with Flesh. All cooldowns, including Spear, are reduced 5% with Rapier crits. After Flesh, you should be able to swap back to Spear, things should be off cooldown or close to it, and repeat the process. It depends on the situation. PvE is equivalent to fighting dummies. But like I said, there is no such thing as a rotation in PvP. You have to be ready to react in a number of ways based on the situation. Here are some narrated fights. Enjoy. Here, I dodge into a Skewer for a guaranteed crit to set up my bleeds, but he dodges it. I get the Vault Kick stun into Perforate, but I'm most vulnerable to magic, so I have to be careful here. I line of sight the fire and hope to bait him closer to me. A second player comes and I riposte into Flurry, into Flesh, then swap to Spear and Vault Kick stun into Perforate, then dodge for the guaranteed crit and Skewer, then dodge out again and swap to Rapier. As you can see, I rarely use light or heavy attacks, having not used any so far. I riposte into Flurry, then dodge for the crit into Flesh. I circle around and swap back to Spear. Now I'm facing a 1v2 with the Fire Mage back, and I'll freeze it here. A mistake that I think some people make is getting tunnel vision when they have a player low on health, and that can get you killed. I play a more patient style where I put my own life as a priority and I try to keep up the pressure. But even when I have an enemy low, I'm careful about waiting for the right time to finish them. I choose to try to stun the mage with a Vault Kick, but they dodge me again. I dodge into a guaranteed Skewer crit on the low health player for some big bleeds, then dodge back away. I riposte into Flurry, but I also know the melee player has a hatchet and they won't take lethal, so I dodge away and wait for invincibility to wear off, then Flesh to end them. I immediately heal up and get out of line of sight from the Fire Mage. In this fight, I should have dodged into the Skewer, but I didn't, and I also missed unfortunately, and my Perforate is blocked, so I Vault Kick for a stun and regroup. I dodge back out, swap to Rapier, then bait a riposte into Flurry, and dodge into Flesh, then swap to Spear, into Skewer, and Perforate for the kill. His name is Johnny 2 times, so I did as requested and killed him 2 times. Later that match, I see him chasing one of my teammates, so I wait around the corner. I Skewer into 3 connecting Perforates and a Vault Kick stun and a quick light attack poke to finish him while his teammates watch from below. In this fight, I move around to bait out the Scream, but somehow I'm still stuck and Skewer does nothing. I dodge out into a Vault Kick stun to safely land Perforate, then dodge and weapon swap, then Flesh to get more space around me. I see Skewer up, so I switch back to Spear and circle in to use it. then dodge as other abilities come off cooldown and swap back to Rapier, anticipating the scream, and riposte it into Flurry and dodge out of the AoE. I swap back to Spear for another Vault Kick Perforate combo to end it. Here I skewer into Perforate, which misses. That's why I normally try to use Perforate after Vault Kick stuns. I riposte out of their rotation combo into Flurry and Flesh to gap close. This time I get the Vault Kick stun, then Perforate to finish the fight. In this fight, I get out of the way of their Perforate, then go into a Vault Kick for the stun, and they get out of the way of mine. I land a skewer that crits and gets a strong bleed on him and dodge back, finding myself in a 1v2. I riposte inside the gravity well, into Flurry, and Flesh away to heal. I bait one of them up on the ramp, and riposte misses because they missed, so I dodge back for a guaranteed crit, swap to Spear, and skewer for a big bleed and dodge back out again. I get hit, but I get a Vault Kick stun off, and dodge back away again, and circle around where I heal up and do the same thing on the platform, getting a well-timed skewer off followed by Perforate. He tries to run, but the bleed is too much, and he goes down. Here, I sneak up behind for a backstabbing skewer into Perforate and Vault Kick. I swap and Flesh through. He runs and fully heals back up during the retreat. When he goes on the offensive, I riposte into Flurry, swap to Spear, dodge out, then skewer in. He tries to retreat and heal, but I get a Vault Kick stun, Perforate combo to finish him. But he counters lethal with his hatchet. I dodge out to let invincibility wear off, and swap into a Flesh to finish him. Healers suck to fight and live forever without ever running out of mana. I just take my time, expect a long fight, and wait for the right moment for them to have big heals off of cooldown and for them to make a mistake. I'm also patient and don't get tunnel vision when I get them low. If I have to, I disengage, knowing full well they're going to heal back up, and I try again until the right moment comes to finish them. That is about all you can do there. I'll leave you with this one last clip. It's a longer one, a good portion of an OPR, so you can see this in action over a period of time instead of just quick clips. But don't worry, I'll speed up the portions where not much is happening. At first, I have a few simple 2v1s, nothing to brag about there. The main thing to watch for is the stick and move playstyle of going in, dodging out, cycling through all the main abilities between both weapons. If there is a large Zerg, I just hide. Here's a tip, they can't see you if you're laying down inside the tent. My apologies to the rest of my team. I typically go to Baron and recommend that you do too, but I was having fun and this time I just stayed to PvP some more. This was one of the narrated fights I showed earlier. All you samurais out there, please comment, like, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.